this is Tracey. And Tracey is here today to talk to us about gardening. Yay! Tracey,
Thank you.
are you excited?
I'm so excited. Thank you for having me.
Yay. You're welcome.
I'm Tracey Clark with Fidelis Care. And if you have questions about healthcare, you can call me. My number is 585-330-5893. That number again is 585-330-5893. If you or anyone in your family needs help with healthcare coverage.
Oh, that's important in case you get sick.
That's right.
In case you get sick.
That's right.
Okay.
So you can go to the doctor.
But we're going to talk about gardening. Even more exciting. Yay!
Yay! So last week we read a book called The Carrot Seed. And if you recall, he had planted a carrot seed and he waited for it to come up. And it finally came up, a really big carrot. So gardening can be a lot of fun. So what I wanted to talk to you guys today is maybe how to start your own garden with the help of your parents, okay?
Yeah, I want to do it.
So these are some things that you may need, that you'll need for your gardening project, okay? So if you have an egg carton at home, here's an egg carton that I got, okay? So you want to get...
Does it matter what kind?
No, it doesn't matter what kind. Sometimes they have the recyclable ones. Those are nice. I didn't have one of those. This is actually has a lot of containers though. There's 18 in here. I got 12.5 eggs. So you would want to get one of these. Also, if you have a toothpick, you would want to get a toothpick. And you can ask your parents or your brothers or sisters or whoever's helping you with the gardening project. Also, you're going to need some seeds, okay? So little seed packets. I have some Brussels sprouts here.
Wow.
You might want to choose a vegetable or a fruit that you would like to grow. You just want to talk to your parents or an adult and ask them what would be good to grow here where we live in Palmyra or Macedon, wherever you live in New York State. What's good to grow? We have some beet seeds, and I got watermelon seeds.
Oh, yes, watermelon, yay!
Right? Watermelon would be good. I also got some peppers, and I got some radish seeds. And you could certainly get a carrot seed, right? To be like the book that we read last week, the carrot seed. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is open up your egg carton, okay? And on the bottom of our egg carton, we want to take our toothpick and we're going to poke holes in the bottom of each little egg container, okay? And the reason we're going to poke those holes, do you know why we might be poking holes in the bottom of these? Can you guess?
I don't know why. I'm worried my seed will fall out.
That's a good point, but your seed won't fall out. But when we go to water our seeds, the water can come out the bottom, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to poke holes, and you can hear it. You hear that noise?
Yeah.
And then see, we poke little holes there, okay?
Oh.
And we're going to do that with each one of our little egg containers and make sure that we have a few holes. So that way, if we add too much water, it'll go right out the bottom, okay?
Oh. So you can add too much water? What happens if they get too much water?
So if they get too much water, then the water will come through the bottom and you don't have to worry about it. That lets the water pass right through. So it's not, if you added too much water and had nowhere to go, that could be a problem. But because we're going to poke holes, it'll go right through. So we don't have to worry about that, okay?
Right
Then what we want to do is open up the egg container. We're going to put dirt in it, okay? So what I have is an egg container. Now I have a smaller one, but I poked holes in it, and can you see? I put dirt in it, okay? So we could go outside in our yard and get some dirt, or we could ask our moms or our dads or grandparents for potting soil. Or, you know, if you're working with an adult, you can ask them what kind of dirt they would recommend. But you could even get soil or dirt right from your backyard. You could dig up a little hole, okay?
You know what else? My mom has a compost pile. I can get dirt from my mom.
That's a great idea. So a compost pile, right? So that's where you take your leftover garbage that's from food, like your eggshells or your coffee grinds or leftover vegetable scraps and things like that, and you let it compost. That's really good fertilization for your plants, right?
It's really good. It's like vegetables for your plants because it's got good stuff in it.
Right, nutrients, real good nutrients for our plants. So I'm going to take some of our watermelon seeds. I thought it would be really good to have some watermelon. Do you like watermelon?
I love watermelon. Yay! Yeah. I love it. It's juicy and it's sweet. And someday when it gets hot out, it's going to be so good.
Yes, it sure is. Okay, so let me get, you know, the seeds, you could actually, instead of having to buy the seeds, you could get the seeds right out of the watermelon, right?
Yeah.
So have you eaten watermelon before and you get the seeds right out of the watermelon when you're eating it?
Yeah, I did that before. It has lots of seeds. They're black.
Yes. So here are the seeds from the watermelon. I'm going to try to show you this. So do you see the seed?
Yep. That looks like the one I had. Yep.
Right. So you could take it right out of a piece of watermelon, or you could go and buy seeds like I did. But if you didn't buy seeds, you see a lot of food. You can think of a lot of other fruits and vegetables that have seeds, right? And from those seeds, we can plant and make our own vegetables too, or plant our own flowers, or not flowers, fruits or vegetables. So after I put the dirt into my egg container, I put my finger in and dug out a little tiny hole. Can you see that?
I see a little hole. Yep.
And then we put the seed inside the hole. Okay. And then we're going to cover it up with the dirt. And we're going to do that for every single container, every single one of these. So we have a dozen here. We're going to plant one seed in each one. Okay.
Wait, you're going to have 12 watermelons? Wow.
Watermelon plants. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Now, I've never grown watermelons before, so I don't know how many watermelons I'll get from one plant. But if I get a lot, guess what I'm going to do with it?
Have a watermelon party.
Great idea. I could do that. I like that idea actually better, but I was going to share with my neighbors. So I grow a garden at home, and whenever I have extra fruits or vegetables, I always share with my neighbors and my coworkers at work.
That's really nice.
They like to get fresh fruits and veggies.
You know what? My grandma has a garden, and she gets too much because she's alone, and she brings some to the food pantry too.
Yes. Yep. So that's a great way to share too. So if your neighbors don't need it, or your coworkers, I think too they have actual places where you can go and drop off your fresh produce. They have these boxes. I forgot what they actually call them, but there's like a a box in our neighborhoods that you can go, and they put produce in there for people to go and get for free, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's a really nice thing to do. If you don't know, you could call food pantry maybe, or ask at your church, and somebody will know, and then you can go where you need to go.
Yes, you could call Food Link, our food bank here in Rochester, and they would tell you where these pantries and where these, I think it's a produce closet, but I could get you more information. I could find out about that. I'm just drawing a blank. So anyway, after we have planted all of these, what do you think we might want to do now? Now that we've planted them, the seeds are in the soil, what should we do?
Put them in the sun.
Great idea, right? So we want to put them in the sun so that the sun can help them grow, right? What's something else we might want to do?
Well, in that cash seed book, he kept watering the plants.
Yeah, so we want to water the plants, right?
Yeah.
So we want to water our seeds, and then we're going to look on the back of the package here. It says that we would start to see something after 25 days, 25 to 28 days, we should start to see watermelon coming up. So we're going to water this. I would say give it a little bit of water, and even if we gave it too much, it'll come through the bottom, right? We're going to keep it in the sun, keep it warm. We don't want to put it outside unless there's no more chance of freezing. So actually tonight they're calling for frost, so we wouldn't put this outside overnight until it's warmer. Usually Memorial Day is a safe time that we can put it outside. But once we get little plants here, now I don't have a sample to show you, but we would get a little plant here, and then we would take this plant and then plant it outside in our garden. Or let's say, what if we don't have enough land, if we don't have a garden? What other ideas do you think? Where else could we plant our plant to get bigger? Where would be a good spot for that?
Could we put it in a big pot?
Yes, that's a great idea. So if we don't have maybe a backyard, or we live in an apartment, we could get a really big pot and put our watermelon plant in there. And watermelon plants, I believe they like to vine out. So we would want to give it lots of room to kind of spread all over. And then we would just sit and wait for our delicious, juicy watermelon.
Ooh, that would be so good.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
And it's fun to plant things, because sometimes you might want to try a different fruit or vegetable because you grew it yourself and you get to see it. You see it flower, and then you see the flower turn into the fruit or the vegetable. So it's a lot of fun because it's something to do. You can get up every day and you go, oh, I wonder if my watermelons have popped up yet. And when they start to come up, you see little green sprouts. It's so exciting.
But wait a minute. There's watermelon flower?
Well, like I said, I have never grown watermelons, but I grow tomatoes, and I grow zucchini and squash, and all of these come up and there's a little flower, and the flower then turns into the fruit. So I would look for a watermelon flower, which I'm not sure because, again, I haven't grown. But for tomatoes, there's a flower, and then that flower will then turn into the fruit of the tomato. So you know you're going to get, a vegetable or a fruit from that.
I didn't know vegetables were flowers first. That's so cool.
Isn't it neat?
Yeah.
And zucchini flowers, you could actually eat the flower. My grandmother used to make zucchini flowers. That was an old Italian thing to do. So she used to actually cook them, and we would eat them, and they were actually delicious.
She cooked the flowers? How do they taste?
They tasted very good, actually. Well, they were fried, so most fried foods do taste pretty good. But it was
like French fries.
Not like French fries. It was definitely different, but it was delicious. It was very good.
I gotta ask if my mom can make that. Yeah.
So do you think this is something you could do on your own with the help of an adult?
I think so. I just
Yeah.
gotta ask my mom for an egg carton, and I could get dirt, and I get water out of my sink, and
Yeah.
oh, I just have to get some seeds.
Yeah.
You know,
And your little
someday
toothpick.
and
Don't
it
forget
just
your toothpick to poke the holes right in the egg carton.
uh-huh.
And if you had that compost, you could put some compost on there.
Yep, I could ask for some of that, and that's gonna be
Yeah.
really good. Maybe they'll grow a little bit faster.
Right.
Maybe.
Hey, you never know. It's good to give them water, make sure they have sun, and you don't put them outside too soon. And if you can't put them in your ground, in your garden outside, if you have a big pot you want to put them in, or even sometimes you don't even need a big pot. So depending on what you're growing. So lots of good ideas though, and lots of different fruits and vegetables you can try because you can grow it all on your own.
Yeah, I want to try watermelon, carrot, and celery because I love celery with peanut butter.
Yeah, celery with peanut butter. That's a good one too. Yes.
Oh, good. Or Cheese Whiz. That's also good.
Oh, okay. Cheese whiz on your celery. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, you have to try it.
I also had another tip for you is that when you do have this in a pot and maybe you're growing a bunch of different vegetables, how do you know which plant is which? I have these little markers that I use for arts and craft projects, and I take these markers and I label what they are. So then I can go into the garden and I see, okay, these are the tomatoes, here is the squash, and you could have one that said watermelon on it. So then because sometimes when the plants are first coming up, you're not really sure, well, what did I plant there? I don't remember. I'm not sure what those are. And so these are labeled, and then okay, these are my, this is the squash, the tomatoes, the watermelon.
Does it tell you on the package how long it will be till the watermelon is ready?
Yeah, so the watermelon would take, it says, 95 to 100 days. So that's approximately 3 months. So you could have your mom or your dad look on the back of the package and they tell you when it's good to plant. They give you all sorts of good information on the back of, you could also look on the internet. You could get a book from the library, right?
Yep.
And learn more about growing watermelons.
Yeah, and you know what I would do is I would put the date that I think they'll be ready on my popsicle stick, because I might forget because they're all different, right?
Yes, you're right. So
that's
what I
remember.
Yes. So if you're growing a bunch of different vegetables like I do in my garden, I write the date of when I planted them, when they should start to sprout, and then when they're ready to harvest. So I keep a little notebook, but you certainly could put the date right on here to say, when they should be harvested. You can estimate, okay, 100 days from today would be August, whatever the date would be. And then, you'll see too, because you're going to get watermelons and they'll get bigger and bigger and bigger.
And bigger and bigger.
Yeah. And then you can have a watermelon party.
A watermelon party. I bet there's going to be so many watermelons if you have 12 seeds that you can have a party and you can give them to people who need them, and it's going to be amazing. And you still can have more for yourself. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then you could pick a vegetable maybe that you've never tried. So maybe you've never tried Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, that one. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, so it's a really good vegetable. And if you've never tried it, you could talk to your parents about maybe growing something yourself that you could then end up trying, and maybe you would like it. And you've put all that work and energy and effort into growing it. It's like, wow, I really want to give this a try and see if I like it. Lots of times you end up really liking the vegetables that you grow. They're delicious and
Yeah.
you put so much hard work into it, right?
Yeah. Oh, I know something else I really want to grow. You know what
What's
it
that?
is?
What's that?
Pumpkins. Pumpkins. I like the pie, and then I could make a jack-o'-lantern.
I love that idea. That's a great idea. Yeah. And
That would be
I've
fun.
seen lots of pumpkin patches here in this area, right? So
Yeah,
pumpkins grow really well in Macedon, don't they?
they do. I saw them when I went on a car ride with my dad.
Yeah. So that would be great because then you can have your mom or dad make a pumpkin pie and you can then carve out your jack-o'-lantern for
Yeah.
Halloween.
And
Lots of
pumpkin
fun.
cookies. I like pumpkin cookies too.
Oh, wow. I like pumpkin black bean soup. It's really good. It sounds a little, but it's good. Trust me.
That sounds like something my mom would eat. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I would eat it, but I could try it.
Sure. It's always important to try new foods, right?
Yeah, that's what my mom says.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Well, thank
so
you for showing me all this, Tracy. And hopefully our friends will see this and do it too. And we'll have lots of vegetables and fruits all over Macedon and Palmyra and all over. It'll be good.
yeah, that would be awesome. And if we do have any friends that do this, please let us know because we want to see your garden. Send us pictures. Let the library know so that we can share with each other and see what everyone's doing.
Yeah, I would love to see garden pictures because
Me
people
too.
might plant different things than me and I could see what it looks like and everything.
Right.
That
And
would
how
be fun.
they've had success. Maybe they grew strawberries and they came out really good, or they have different
Yeah.
ideas or they know tips and tricks that we don't know, right?
Oh, yeah, we could have a little garden club or something. That would be nice.
Absolutely. Yeah. Gardening for kiddos. I
Yeah,
like it.
I like it too. Thank you so much, Tracy.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming today. Thanks for having me. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Everybody give Tracy a hand. Yay. Well, we'll see you next time.
Okay. Thank
Bye.
you.